Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Heretic Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for Posts, Ghosts from the Past. It's actually been quite a while since my last deck update to this deck, being the fact that we got a bunch of new support in the Ghosts from the Past booster set, including a new Xyz monster, a new spell, a bunch of cool cards just to help with the overall playstyle of the deck, which is basically tributing out all the different Heretic monsters and then being able to have different Xyz plays by summoning out more and more onto the field to use. It's a really awesome deck. I love the playstyle. I've always been a fan of it, so I still have the good majority of the older cards from the Galactic Overlord booster set. For this, definitely going to be hollowing out all the other cards that are available now from Ghosts from the Past. Just, haven't gotten full play sets of them yet. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the monsters, I am running 3 Heretic Dragon of Tefnuit. With this one, it basically, if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. This card cannot attack during the turn. It's special summon this way. And when this card is tributed, you can special summon 1 dragon normal type monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard and make its attack and defense 0. So with it, we run a good number of different normal monsters in the deck for the overall setup. Being able to summon out that normal monster with the tribute means we can basically summon this card out onto the field and then tribute it for the summon of another Heretic monster, and then be able to get that tribute, giving us the 2 monsters needed for the Xyz summon, with our main one being a rank 6, which is Heretic Dragon, King of Atum. Very useful for all our different special summons we'll do in the deck. So you definitely need 3 Tefnuit. Just being able to summon this card out is that much more usable for more special summons and then more Xyz plays. I also run 3 Heretic Dragon of Su. You can special summon this card from your hand by tributing 1 Heretic monster. Once per turn, you can tribute 1 Heretic monster except for this card from your hand or your side of the field to target 1 spell or trap you control and destroy that target. When this card is tributed, you can special summon 1 dragon type normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So the good number of the Heretic monsters share this monster effect, but being able to have the destruction is just an added bonus. You're mostly going to use this card for just more and more special summons. Having Tefnuit on the field means that you can tribute it to special summon Su, and then having the special summon of Su on the field activates the tribute of Tefnuit, giving you the level 6 or other normal monster on the field to make use of. That's why I'm running 3 of this card. It's just another easy special summon to make use of in the deck, along with our next lineup, which is Heretic Dragon of Aset. You can normal summon this card by tributing, but its original attack becomes 1000. So you can get around the tribute by just summoning out this card with a normal summon. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up dragon normal monster on the field. The levels of all face-up Heretic monsters you control on the field become the level of that monster until the end of the turn. And when this card is tributed, special summon 1 dragon type normal monster from your deck onto the field. So the level adjustment is a big plus for sure, just because most of the time you want the cards to be level 6. So being able to adjust them with a set is why I'm also running 3 of this card. I'm also only running 1 Heretic Dragon of Nebthet. You can special summon this card from your hand by tributing 1 Heretic monster. Once per turn, you can tribute 1 Heretic monster except this card from your hand or your side of the field to target 1 monster your opponent controls and destroy that target, and having the same special summon option when this card is tributed. There's not much destruction for monsters in the deck. I mostly even just use a set for the level adjustment and not so much Su for the spell and trap destruction. It's more just here for the easy special summon option, but Nebthet having a 1-of option in the deck comes in handy. Also, we have another monster we run in the deck to special summon out our level 5 dragons, which we'll get to in just a bit. For the normal monsters, I run 2 Heretic Seal Sun Dragon Overlord. It's just a attack 0, defense 0, level 8 monster that can be summoned onto the field, level adjusted properly with other cards like a set to match up with the level 6 options. Or if you summon out 2 of your Sun Dragon Overlord, you can overlay these 2 cards to then go into either the original Heretic, keep messing up the name there, Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis, or the new form, which is Heretic Sky Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. A great card to respond against a good number of your opponent's plays. I also run 1 Wattail Dragon. Now, the one card I don't have in the deck if you wanted to run is Laboradite Dragon. If you run this card, you can take out the Heretic Seal Sun Dragon Overlord and just run the level 6 Laboradite Dragon, being able to just have that much easier level 6 summons on the field. But the Wattail Dragon can also be adjusted if you don't have Laboradite, running more numbers of that card and then just dropping the numbers of Sun Overlord Dragon from the deck as well, depending on what normal monsters you want to run for the lineup. for some additional support, I'm also running 3 Artillery Catapult Turtle. Now, this is an interesting card. It was originally meant to be used for Curse of Dragon. You contribute 1 monster to special summon 1 Gaia the Fierce Knight monster or 1 level 5 dragon monster from your hand or deck. You can only use this effect of Artillery Catapult Turtle once per turn. So the tribute, you can even tribute Artillery Catapult Turtle itself or have some other tribute options in the deck on the field to trigger some normal summon special summons onto the field. But most of the time the targets you'll go for are Nepthet or a set, depending on which one you want on the field. A set, great for the level adjustment, like I spoke of before. Artillery Catapult Turtle can take up your normal summon. You'll use Sue and Tefnuit just for their special summons on the field, while being able to get a set onto the field can adjust the levels of all your different monsters also. So that's why I like to run 3 of this. Just most of the time, it is my normal summon that I'll go into. And for some of the one-ofs for the dragon support, I run 1 Omni Dragon Brotar. The fact that it's a dark attribute monster makes it easier for summoning out Chaos Dragon Levianeer, since all of the Heretic monsters are light attribute, meaning if I have these banishes, most of the time, banishing for Levianeer, I'll have the banish for light monsters to special summon a resource from the graveyard, which is great, but also just more for the power play options comes in Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon. Once again, just banishing a dragon on the field to summon this can give me another special summon of a dragon monster from my hand or graveyard back on the field to reuse. So whether I have the banish options or just the search options with cards like Brotar, I like to run all 3 of them. Brotar just being another target for Darkness Metal to resummon back onto the field to use. With the last of my monsters in the deck just being the hand trap of choice, which is Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Most of the engine runs very, very well together for the Heretic monsters, so being able to have all the different special summon options, I just want to have something to rely on if my opponent goes first to stop their own plays. And that is it for the monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. After opening, 20 different boxes of Ghosts from the Past, I can't believe I only pulled 1 Heretic Seal of Creation. It is an amazing card in the deck, and you definitely want to run 3 of it. For those of you that have a Heretic deck and you don't have any of this card, you can substitute in Heretic Seal of Supremacy, but this card is definitely way better. You want to run 3 of this card in the deck. You target 1 Dragon Xyz monster you control, special summon from your extra deck 1 Heretic Xyz monster with a different original name by using that target as material. This is treated as an Xyz summon. Transfer its materials to the summoned monster. You can banish this card from your graveyard to target 1 Heretic monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense. You can only use 1 Heretic Seal of Creation effect per turn, only once that turn. So most of the time you'll have basically what almost is a rank up play, but it's not necessarily a rank up play because you can even, rank down the monster you have into just another Heretic monster. Having options for all the different ones means you can easily go into the rank 8 Heretic monsters in the deck, so that much easier for all of these summons. And then just having resources to summon back onto the field means we can use those monsters to then rank up into other monsters like Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger on the field. And I also run 3 Heretic Seal of Convocation. It's a searcher for the deck. You add 1 Heretic monster from your deck to your hand. So with it, it's not even a once per turn. If you open up multiples of this card, you can easily search out Sue and Tefnuit for your go-to special summon play on the field. So it's a definite 3 of. I remember this card was on the ban list for quite some time, but adjusted around, definitely glad to see it at full power because the deck definitely needs it if you want to go full out with all your different special summons. And I also run 2 Celestial Observatory. You place 1 level 6 monster from your hand or face up on the field on the bottom of the deck to draw 2 cards. You can only activate 1 per turn, but if you have multiples of, let's say, Tefnuit in your hand or even Sue, being able just to, potentially draw into much better cards in your hand is why I like running this card. I thought of just, running 1 of it, but I like the 2 just so I can see this card more often for that draw power, and like I said, potentially draw into better cards to use. For more of the tribute option, I also run 2 Monster Gate. You tribute 1 monster to reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal a monster that can be normal summon, special summon it, and send the rest to the graveyard. So not only can you set up normal monsters in your graveyard with this card, potentially you will summon a monster, so more than likely you'll summon that normal monster, but being able to just send also, Heretic Seal of Creation to the graveyard to use its graveyard effect for an additional special summon is great with the bonus of Monster Gate, and just giving you a monster on the field, and the fact that you'll tribute a monster means you'll also get the special summon depending on what monster you summon. Most of the time you'll want to make sure it's a Heretic monster, so you get that additional summon along with the one from the effect of Monster Gate. I also run 3 Dark Ruler No More. This is definitely a setup deck to take out a good number of your opponent's cards. So being able to stop their own plays if you go second is why I like running this card. I don't normally run Dark Ruler No More in my decks, but this is an exception just for how great this card is for the setup. If you didn't want to run this card, you can always run an additional hand trap option or even Infinite Impermanence as another option in the deck for cards to just additionally support all the different Heretic plays. For some of the one-ofs, I also run 1 Monster Reborn, more special summoning options from the graveyard. Can't go wrong along with this, especially if you have one level 8 monster on the field and you just need one additional one to go into just overlaying into one of your rank 8 plays. I also run one Pot of Avarice for the recycle of all the different monsters you will use in this deck, and one Call by the Grave to stop your opponent's plays, because they'll definitely try and stop one of your special summons to mess up the play that they potentially see you going for. And then as for the traps, the only trap I run in the deck is 2 Heretic Seal of Reflection. When a spell or trap or monster effect is activated, tribute 1 Heretic monster, negate the activation, and destroy it. So not only will it give you a special summon of a normal monster on the field, it'll give you a negation of one of your opponent's cards. It's not a once per turn, so if you set both of these cards on the field, it could be potentially the card you draw into with your Celestial Observatory, making it all the better, being able to have your monster set up on the field, and then just additional protection using this trap for the play. It's also been reprinted in Ghost from the Past, making it that much easier to add into the deck if it's not one of the Heretic cards you've had so far from the set. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. Our main go-to monster for Xyz summoning is Heretic Dragon, King of Atum. You need 2 level 6 dragon monsters to make it, so very, very easy to summon in this deck. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card to special summon 1 dragon monster from your deck and make its attack and defense 0. This card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. So we have a great play, which I'll go over at the end of the video, using the new Heretic Seal of Creation spell, giving you multiple special summons off of King of Atum. But running 3 of it is the max number you need, so you can just use the overlay option we spoke of before as well, with the newest one being the rank 8 monster, Heretic Sky Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. You need 2 level 8 monsters normally, but you can also use the Seal of Creation to summon this card out once per turn when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card on the field or your graveyard. Add and or banish your banished cards. Quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate the activation, and destroy that card. So normal Heliopolis just destroys by tributing. This card can stop negations and basically stop your opponent from messing with any of the cards you may have on the field. So setting this card up on the field not only gives you a 3,000 attack point boss monster, but also will stop your opponent from basically messing around with your own resources. I still run 2 of the original Heretic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis for the destruction plays. Most of the time, I have to rely on Overlord of Heliopolis with Sky Dragon being more when my opponent makes a play. So if I just want to take the offensive, I'll go into the Heretic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. I also run 1 Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger, for the overlay play, which I'll go over at the end of the video, with King of Atum. Also 1 number 38, Hope Harbinger. One of the 2 level 8 monsters, you can make this card quite easily in the deck. As for the Link monsters, I run 2 Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spears. The Link monster to go into once per opponent's turn. If this card's in the extra monster zone, quick effect, you can tribute 1 monster from your hand or field to return 1 face-up card on the field to the hand. If this card is tributed, special summon 1 dragon monster from your hand or deck, but makes its attack 0, and you can only use this effect of Heavenly Spheres once per turn. So not only is this card meant to be played in this deck because it sets up all of your different Heretic plays by tributing your different monsters to then summon out the normal monsters, it helps by just bouncing your opponent's resources back to the hand and getting rid of some potential plays they might go into. For some of the other Link monsters that I run in the deck, I run 1 Triple Burst Dragon, 1 Boral Sword Dragon, and 1 Borreload Dragon. I thought of running these cards. I like them. Just, kind of limited sometimes when you summon them because you need effect monsters to make them, but still playable as long as you have all the other different special summons, which you mostly get when you're going with your Xyz play. And then lastly, the 1 Saryuja, being another dragon option and just more draw power to go into, can be easily made because you just need 2 or more monsters with different names. So as long as you have, let's say, different normal monsters on the field along with some of your other resources you summon, you can easily get this card out and then just draw into more potential cards to use for your plays. And then as for the go-to play before, like I said, if you have your Heretic of Su and Tefnuit, you'll basically special summon out Tefnuit onto the field and then special summon Su by tributing the Tefnuit, which will then trigger Tefnuit to special summon the Wattail Dragon or Laboradite Dragon if you run it in the deck. You can then overlay these 2 cards into your main go-to Xyz monster, which is Heretic Dragon, King of Atum. You will then use Atum, detaching 1 from this card, to special summon 1 dragon monster from your deck, but make its attack and defense 0. You'll then be able to summon out your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon onto the field, which can be then a special summon from your graveyard, special summoning a monster resource back from the graveyard to use. And then you will use your Heretic Dragon, King of Atum, to go into your Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger, and then activating the new spell you have, which is the Heretic Seal of Creation. To target Dragon Xyz monster you control and special summon from your extra deck 1 Heretic Xyz monster with a different original name by using that target as material. So with this, you just need a Dragon Xyz monster. Then you can use it to then go into another King of of a Tomb, being able to detach off of this card to give you another special summon onto the field, giving you that resource to special summon another dragon. Can summon the Sue back onto the field, needing the 4 dragons to then go into your Saryuja for that draw power, or potentially using the Sue to overlay into another Heretic, King of a Tomb, and then getting that detach off as well for another special summon from the graveyard, where you could just keep the resources going, potentially having all those monsters, aside from the normal monsters, to go into Borreload or Boral Sword Dragon as another boss option, or having the 2 dragons to go into Heavenly Spheres, and then having a fully decked out field with the attack limitations. Still more and more special summon options. You can even avoid this part here, going with Heretic Seal of Creation to overlay into your new dragon for more control against your opponent, the Sky Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoy the video. Like I said, forgot how fun the Heretic deck can be. It's a great special summon deck if you're looking to build something with a lot of dragons for that special summon. So definitely look into it. I don't think too much from it's going to be expensive from the Ghost from the Past booster set. But until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Twig out.